Hello, this is Steve, and we are continuing to talk about crime literature, but with a Cambridge B2 C1 focus. We're going to do a bit of use of English today and a bit of speaking, an interesting way of perhaps practicing speaking part 3 and in general expressing ideas. So as you can see, we're talking about how to get rid of a body. Before that, we need to get the body. We need a murder. So we are going to read, you are going to read, I've already read it 4 times in my various classes this week. You're going to read an old story called 3 is a Lucky Number by Marjorie Allingham, and it's free to read online. You can find it very easily if you search for the name. I guess I can put a link in the description as well. You will find a PDF like this, and as you can see, it's quite short. It's 9 pages with a very generous font size. It's probably a couple of thousand words, and it is a nice self-contained, fairly accessible story of murder. It starts the following way. At 5 o'clock on a September afternoon, Ronald Torbay was making preparations for his 3rd murder. And if you think back to our previous video about analysing the opening of crime stories, I think this has some interesting points as well that make you want to continue reading it. What do you think? For example, he is preparing his 3rd murder. You want to find out about the first 2. Did he get away with it? Why is he killing lots of people? This idea of preparations is quite interesting. How do you prepare for a murder? Normally, often, a murder is not premeditated, is it? It's just a rush of anger or an argument or something. But here we're preparing. What's he preparing? And the one that I really like, 5 o'clock on a September afternoon, sings to me of relaxing. It's a nice warm September. Work has finished, school has finished. It's a nice time of year. It's warm, it's light. You should be at home relaxing, having a nap, having a cup of tea. You shouldn't be preparing for a murder. It has a really nice contrast of like a comfortable suburban atmosphere, perhaps also with the name Ronald Torbay, which is a bit of an old-fashioned name. But also Torbay sounds a bit like Torquay, and bay also implies the seaside. So it's like a very British seaside, comfortable, old-fashioned name. Contrasting with the preparations for his murder, which makes you want to read more, this interesting contrast. So read the story. And then now you've read it. I read it in class. It was good fun. You can read it in 10 minutes, no problem. It's also quite accessible. Like I said, there's not too much difficult vocab, but since we're in an English class, if you read it and you find a word you don't recognize or you wouldn't be sure of how to use, make a note of it in your notes, look it up, use it in a sentence, all of the good things that you can consciously practice to improve your ability to express yourself in English. And then let's do our little use of English activities that I've prepared. So as always, I've taken a part of the story, an extract, and this time I have removed 8 words, 8 little grammatical words, making probably a B2 level use of English activity. Pause the video. Which word must go in the gap? Now I'm going to explain it, and you're going to learn some skills, some ideas, some exam knowledge. Here come the answers. You should have done it by now. I'll explain them. Take a note like always. And number 1, you go on holiday. That is the preposition that is used with the phrase going on holiday. It has to be like that. Number 2, this is more like a C1 question, but I really like this one. The point is, he's convincing these women to marry him because it's in his interest, talking about the money and so on. And to convince someone is to talk someone into doing something. Has to be into. Nice expression with a specific meaning that you can then understand from the context, and you can even use it yourself. Number 3, a will, meaning the document which says what should happen to your things when you die. And this is a will which or that left him all her money. We need a relative pronoun there. Number 4, you could say would. You could also say did. I think some of my students said did. So there we go. We do have to say would because of the was. I think he was careful to choose someone who would not. Sounds much better than saying will. Common mistake there. Number 5, the house is similar. in one word, it is like this one. It's similar to, it's like. And number 6, they didn't do anything wrong, not found anything wrong. And number 7, this is just a collocation, isn't it? Something is in the middle of something else, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of happiness. And number 8, this is another nice typical question. The funeral happened 3 weeks after the wedding. Very suspicious. The funeral took place. There we go. So, mark out of 8 for Use of English Part 2. Hopefully you did well, but hopefully you also learned something that you didn't know before. That's the point of watching these videos and studying. Let's do the same for the next part of the text for Use of English Part 3. Pause the video, take your time, have a look at them, transform the word given so that it fits the gap. And we should have, here come the answers, you have done it. Number 1, alone in the world. An appearance, you make an appearance, means you appear. Number 3, it's an insurance company. Number 4, the background and the name was newly invented, because we need an adverb to go with the past participle, the verb. And a valuable ring, because it's worth a lot of money, so it's valuable. Number 6, this one's a little bit difficult, maybe to the point of being a bit of a dodgy question, not a great question that I made, but we're learning things. Romantic. Are we romantic nowadays? Not so much. We're more practical nowadays, aren't we? And we don't believe in these could be outdated, could be sexist ideas. So he's old-fashioned. Number 7, suitable. Okay, we know that one. And number 8, also quite easy. Death. Die is the verb, death is the noun. So B2 level for these, apart from maybe number 6, which is a bit more difficult. But you have a score out of 8, and we've done our nice bit of Use of English practice. Hopefully you enjoyed the story, and you can think, oh, 3 is a lucky number, because we often say third time lucky, and in this story it's the third murder for him. And as we can see in B, someone got lucky. In this case, it was his wife who discovered that she was going to be killed, so she averted it. She managed to escape with the police. What happens to him? The heavy footsteps on the stairs are the police coming to catch him, and he will be sent to jail. I think this was written in 1955, so he could have been hanged, executed, because it was still a possibility in the United Kingdom at that time. But he's definitely being caught and punished. So that's a nice story that we've read. I did also then read another one in class about more about disposing of a body, a Patricia Highsmith short story, which is also probably available online, called Slowly, Slowly in the Wind, which led me to the next activity, which is one that I think should be really interesting. These are, according to some artificial intelligence sources, different ways of getting rid of a body. A top 10 ways, that's just me being silly, isn't it? But they are different ways of getting rid of a body, using some interesting vocab if you understand all of these. So what we'll do in class is discuss these different ways and discuss your favorite one, the problems with each one, the advantages with each one, and so on. And then we'll get into the main activity where you can take a bit of time to think about this. I have got these methods of disposing of a body, to dispose of something, to get rid of something, and some potential crimes that could happen. And you are then going to match the crime with the way of getting rid of the body and justify why you've chosen it. We have 10 crimes and 10 ways of getting rid of the body. You can match them up and speak about why this is suitable. This is supposed to be sort of like speaking part 3 practice. You can imagine where you're having a conversation. So if you can do this in class or in pairs, it's better. And in the center of the conversation, it says, you and your friends have killed someone. Talk about the different ways of getting rid of a body. And you have to say, well, on the one hand, if you did this, it would be better because, do you see what I mean? Yes, I agree, but I also think, and you have this conversation about the slightly macabre but interesting topic of disposing of a body. There we go, nice bit of speaking. And obviously there's also lots of vocab in here as well, and little stories and details that we can like we like to think about in class, to make it a bit more fun when we're having these conversations in English to practice. Right, there we go. That's probably going to be enough crime, and we'll come back with something a bit more of a traditional B2 C1 reading or writing or something next week. Hope it was good. See you then.